So fellow veggie nerds, here's what we will need to put together our tamales. 2 ears of corn, 1/2 cup black beans, 1 tomato, 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 cups of masa corn flour, 1/2 cup of vegetable stock, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, 1/3 cup of coconut oil, about 10 corn husks, 1 1/4 cup of your favorite vegan cheese, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 poblano peppers, and last but not least, a pinch of sugar, and optionally 1/2 teaspoon of adobo sauce. Adobo adds a smoky, spicy flavor, but you do not need to add it if you do not want to. The first thing we need to do is roast our poblano peppers. The easiest way to do this is over an open gas flame. Continue to rotate and roast peppers until the outsides have charred and turned black. Have a bowl handy with a lid. Place peppers inside, and the steam will help us remove the skin, allowing us to wipe away the char, thus leaving behind a nice pepper with some additional flavor. If you do not have a gas stove, placing them in the oven at 400 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes, or placing them under the broiler and rotating them can have the same effect. For the next step, I like to grill my corn in a grill pan with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. This step is completely optional, and raw corn will also work for this just fine. Alternatively, you can cut your corn off the cob and roast it on a parchment-lined or greased sheet pan at about 250 degrees for about 30 minutes. Allow your corn to cool. Before continuing with any additional prep, make sure that your corn husks are soaking in warm water. This makes them pliable so they do not crack while rolling tamales. Also, by this point, our corn should be cooled down before our poblano peppers, so we will work with that next. If needed, remove the corn from the cob with a knife. Cutting one end of the corn can make a flat end so that it is safer to cut the corn. Be careful not to dig too deep into the cob. All finished, said and done, this should yield about 2 to 2.5 cups of corn. Separate a rounded 1/4 cup of corn and set aside. Next, we are going to put together our tamale dough. To do this, I will be using a food processor. If your processor is as small as mine, you will have to work in batches. Working in equal amounts, process together vegan cheese and corn until it reaches a mealy consistency. Add this mixture to a bowl. Add reserved whole corn, vegetable stock, coconut oil, salt and pepper, masa corn flour, and baking powder. Mix this together. If your dough seems too dry and crumbly, add a bit of water or stock until it forms together in your hand. A bit of crumbliness is okay. And around this point, I like to mix it together with my hands. I find it's easier to get the ingredients well together this way. Once mixed, this is what our dough should look like. Cover this so it does not dry out, and set it aside. Next, I'm going to clean up and chop our poblano peppers, as well as our tomatoes, so that I can create our filling. As you can see, after our peppers are chilled, the skin slides right off. To aid in removing this char, use a clean washcloth to wipe it away. Remove the stem from the top and open the pepper to remove the seeds. Discard the seeds and stem. Cut pepper and tomato into small dice and add them to a separate bowl. Add black beans, cumin, and adobo. Season with a pinch of sugar and salt and pepper to taste. We can now assemble our tamales. Take a corn husk and set it flat on a cutting board. Use about 2 tablespoons of our corn masa mixture. Pat the mixture down so that it is a flat, even layer in a rectangular shape. I like to pat it even first and then put the shape together. Use a small bit of filling in the center, but not too much that you cannot roll your corn masa mixture around it. Add a bit of leftover vegan cheese, and now use the corn husk itself to bring the ends of the mixture together. Press this carefully to create a seal and then roll. Fold in the ends and continue this with the rest of your mixture. If at any point your dough seems too dry, add a bit of water or stock to help it come together. And now that all our hard work is over, it's time to cook our tamales. To cook tamales, they are steamed. If you do not have a specialty tool for steaming, like my rice cooker here, most kitchen specialty stores sell bamboo steamers that you can buy and set over a bubbling pot. I will provide a link in the description to where you can buy one. You can also get creative with what you have at home. A strainer with an upside down plate and some aluminum foil over a pot of simmering water would also do the trick. Steam tamales in a single layer for about 1 to 1.5 hours. Carefully remove tamales and allow them to cool for 10 minutes before unwrapping. These tamales need time to cool properly, otherwise the vegan cheese will not solidify, and tamales will fall apart. If they do fall apart, it means they weren't cooled properly, or they weren't cooked long enough. And there we have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it's been a pleasure making these videos for you. If you liked what you saw and would like to help support the Veggie Nerd, share this video on social media for your friends and family to see. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell so that you get updates on all my new videos. I'm also really interested in hearing requests for future videos so I can make some stuff that you want to see versus what I want to make. Feel free to leave your ideas down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to read over them. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you in the next one.